What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Dermy Wormy. I wasn't around yesterday, but I'm back and better than ever. Chris Hemsworth. Thor, Love and Thunder. Chris Hemsworth, Thor, Disney, Marvel. You just gotta love him. You just gotta love him, don't you? Well, okay, a few days ago, apparently an interview came out with GQ and Chris Hemsworth where he finally said it, finally admitted it, and he's owning up to it. Chris Hemsworth admits Thor 4 was too silly, calls Scorsese and Tarantino's Marvel criticism super depressing. I guess they're not a fan of me. Well, I like the first part about it. It was too silly. Because it was. I didn't go see the movie. I refused to see that movie because I actually liked a lot of what Thor was doing and stuff, but everything I was seeing from Phase 4 told me, yeah, let's not go see this movie. This movie's going to be bad. This movie's going to be awful. And let's just not see it. Granted, I didn't see much of Phase 4, but that's neither here nor there. When it comes to this movie, though, this was bad. This was maybe not as bad as Eternals, but probably near the same amount. And what was actually said? Marvel's Thor: Love and Thunder was a box office hit with 760 million worldwide. it only barely broke even, honey. But a lot of Marvel fans were turned off by writer-director God, I can never say his name. Taika Waititi's silly humor and the film's unappealing visual effects. Thor actor himself, Chris Hemsworth, is aware of the negativity around his fourth Thor movie, and he even admitted in a new GQ magazine profile that Love and Thunder was too silly for its own good. From Chris, I think we just had too much fun. It's just become too silly. Hemsworth said about the movie, "It's always hard being the center of it and having any real perspective. I love the process. It's always a ride, but you just don't know how people are going to respond." You know, there's a fair point there. He's in the middle of it. You know, you don't know what people are going to say, but hey, it was way too silly. And the sad part is what comes next. Hemsworth said his biggest critics were his son's friends. It's a bunch of 8-year-olds critiquing my film. We thought this one had too much humor. The action was cool, but the VFX weren't as good. You had 8-year-olds. 8-year-olds critiquing your movie saying it was crap. How does that feel? I think he's probably, playing it up a little bit, but hearing that 8-year-olds, your son's friends, your sons, what have you, didn't like the movie, that has to sink deep. And I don't blame the kids for not liking the movie. The movie looked crap. I think it was I want to say it was EFAP went over the movie. Holy crap, was it bad? It was something that I don't think I could ever bring myself to go watch. Most of Phase 4, most of modern Marvel is something I don't want to go watch. And this was just peak Marvel. This was made by a man, Ta-Nehisi Coates, not Ta-Nehisi Coates, that's another thing for another time, Taika Waititi. They have similar names, shut up. Taika Waititi comes out and says, "I'm going to destroy your mythos." Oh, it's just a joke, but he did. This movie failed for multiple reasons. Primarily, though, because you already disrespected the fans from the beginning. That's why it failed. That's why kids even said it wasn't good. He said, "I cringe and laugh equally at it." I think he also acknowledges that the movie was crap. I don't think he had fun doing this movie anymore. I think he's just here for a paycheck half the time. But I also want to hit down here. Hemsworth also addressed criticism of Marvel made by top filmmakers such as Martin Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino. When it comes to what Scorsese and Tarantino said, they were talking about the Marvelization of Hollywood. How everything's pretty much prim and proper, same old, so on and so forth. And there was a time where I greatly disagreed with what Scorsese and Tarantino were saying. I 100% disagreed. I thought that we were living in a good time. We were having fun movies. These were rides of our lives. And now, about a couple years later, I finally understand what they were saying. What they were talking about is this like prim and proper, very algorithmic style of writing that Marvel has been putting out and that a lot of movie studios have been putting out. This like corporatized, yeah, this product. It's no longer an art form, it's a product. It's a disgusting product, and they're not getting the hint that nobody likes it. That's why when you do get, things that break out the mold, they do really well. When you do get things that say a good movie or have fun, like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the new Spider-Man movie, and to the No Way Home, these movies that kind of broke the mold for a little bit, they did really well because they were something different. They were still superhero movies and comic book movies, but they did something different that the other Marvel movies and DC movies just weren't doing. And you know what Hemsworth says here? I think this strikes more because Hemsworth is kind of a movie star. And he's stuck in this role that's just, he doesn't like anymore. That's super depressing when I hear that. Hemsworth said about Tarantino and Scorsese, "There goes two of my heroes I won't work with. I guess they're not a fan of me." I don't think that they're not a fan of you. I think they're more not a fan of everybody. They're not a fan of Thor. They're not a fan of other people. And, looking at this, Tarantino always said that. I think it was Tarantino that pointed out this. Tarantino said on the Two Bears, One Cave podcast, but they're not movie stars, right? Captain America is the star, or Thor is the star, I mean, not the first person to say that. I think that's been said a zillion times, but it's like, it's the franchise characters that became the stars. What Tarantino was addressing was, Hemsworth, you are a star, but nobody's going to see you. People are going to see Thor, and what they saw with Thor was disgusting and degrading. And he doesn't hate you; he hates the character Thor now. And what he was pointing out is the is the reality that so many of our stars now are just stand-ins for other characters, and that's what he was calling out. But I just love the fact, though, that he's finally realizing that Thor 4 was a disaster of monumental proportions. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it out, friends. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video go live, guys. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.